What's good, y'all? It's your boy J Swave. I am the host of J Swave TV. And I know I'm late with the recap for Alien Earth episode 4. I had a pretty busy weekend. I had to travel yet again. Cousin got married, spent some time with my siblings. The point is, I was away from home. But in the time I was away from home, I managed to watch this episode 2 times. We just go jump right into it and talk about some of the things that stood out to me in this episode. Might not get to everything. If there's a storyline that I did not get to in this recap, please feel free to run on my comments with all your thoughts. Really want to get y'all opinions on how you're feeling about the show so far, 4 episodes in. I'm not sure if we're supposed to be getting 8 or 10 episodes this season, but I really did feel like we would have got a lot more action this episode than we actually did. So episode 5, I'm going to need you to cook up. Matter of fact, I need this whole next part of the season to just be actioned out. I feel like this episode and the one before it have done a great job at setting up what we can expect in this Alien Earth TV show. I'm ready to see the aliens just start wilding out. I'm gonna get into my thoughts on this episode, but before I do, you already know what y'all gotta do. Like, comment, share, subscribe, do all those things. We got that goal of what? 1,000 subscribers by DreamCon 2026 and 2,000 followers on TikTok in that same time frame. I know we can do it. I'm not tripping. This episode starts off and I'm immediately stunned. I don't know what that intro scene was trying to set up with that water that was washing away some kind of alien species. It was like whatever was going on was trying to feed off of the relationship that Wendy has to these aliens. If y'all could leave in the comments exactly what was going on in that first scene, I'd greatly appreciate it. Anyway, she wakes up and the scientists are trying to figure out exactly what happened to her. While this examination is happening, before Wendy could even regain full consciousness, we see they done turned her hearing off entirely. She gets to pleading with them to get her hearing back on. That's when boy dickhead, boy dumbass, we're gonna call him BD for sure, he pulls up with Curly, the girl who is jealous of Wendy in the last episode. Basically just shrugs her off to the side as he's done with a lot of the other android kids that's name is not Wendy. They're trying to get to the bottom of exactly what happened. Then the brother pulls up. He explains his situation, how he had a surgery done. They replaced his lung. So now he's trying to figure out why Wendy's in the bed. That's when they bring up the fact that the aliens that were on the other ship now reside on this private island. The brother's like, yo, I really think we should go return them. The right-hand man to BD is talking about are you sure you don't want to go ahead and return these aliens back to the ship that they came? BD's just like, no. Return them and accidentally ingest one, allowing them to take over my body? Absolutely not. My response to that is, what's stopping them from doing that on the island? What if they launch an attack on y'all before your research gets done? There's a conversation later on in the episode between Wendy and BD, where Wendy explains to BD that these aliens can do him just as foul as he's currently doing them. And he's like, yeah, of course, I expect that. But you think they wouldn't do that if they had the opportunity? And my thing is, yeah, they probably would. But at the same time, are you helping your situation by bringing them on your remote island? I don't know. Like, at what point is enough enough? Like, where are you in life right now where you feel like you absolutely need to do this research on these aliens? I don't understand. It's the way he goes about running these tests too. Not necessarily on Wendy. Do the frequency test later on when she gets her hearing back, and she doesn't really go through it too much. Her and BD were both willing to continue on with the research, but the brother and the doctor argued it's been a long day. Maybe let her rest a little bit, run it back tomorrow. I just hate that these androids are based on kids. They really be going for anything that BD says, all because he saved their life. Wait, a crazy experiment I'm talking about that occurs later on in this episode happens to a poor goat. This man threw one of them little aliens into the cage with the goat. The alien found its way into the goat's eye socket, replacing its eye and taking over his body altogether, making it an intelligent being. Now, when I first seen this, I already knew that goat had murder on its mind. There's no way in hell this goat does not find a way out of that cage. And even if it does, we seen at the end of this episode that one of the aliens ended up making a way out of their cage. And the only thing keeping it from wreaking havoc on this island is Wendy. Because of her relationship with the alien, she's able to keep it calm for now. What happens when all them alien eggs hatch though? I wonder if this method is going to be as effective at that point in time. I don't know. It just feels like Prodigy's biting off a little bit more than they could chew here. But maybe I'm tripping. We got the first real calm conversation between the brother and Wendy, where Wendy gets to showing him her room, talking about this is my bed, which is really a charging station. He learns that she doesn't really sleep. He sees some of the drawings that she's made. And eventually they get into the conversation of why he's now pulling up on her. And he basically says, look, it was a war going on. You were on the other side of the world and my parents wasn't allowing me to see you. I had absolutely no way of coming to see you. That just is what it is. Now, there's another conversation between Wendy and DB at the end of this episode, where DB argues if her brother wanted to actually come see her, he would have found a way. And it's very easy for you, of all people, to say that in the tax bracket that you're in. The economy is wild in 2025 in real life. I can only imagine what it's looking like in this universe right here. I do not blame the brother at all for not being able to see his sister in this time. Just off the interactions in these past 2 episodes, I can see he really got genuine love for her. He sees her as a human. Meanwhile, DB and the others on this island see her as a means to continue to profit. We see that in the conversation between the brother and DB's right-hand man, where he explains to the brother, look, you can stay here and work with us. You can see your sister all day, every day, 24/7. Okay, cool, not a problem. But when do you plan on letting her go? Let her go. She's our property now. She is not going anywhere. Either you get with the program or you can leave and pay off that new lung we gave you. And you can never see his sister after this. How about that? You had me at paying off my lung. I mean, there's nothing I could do with it. In the end, though, if I'm the brother knowing they have the alien on this island, I know it's a matter of time before it wreaks havoc, and I could ultimately find a way off this island with Wendy anyway. So I'll just bide my time. I'm not gonna have no complaint. I'll do what y'all do. I'm gonna do what I do in due time. We get a lot from Aurush's side of things in this episode as well. That's the real name of Slightly, the android. I think that was his android name. His conversations with Kumi continue in this episode, and Kumi's assigning him to get him a singular egg, of which they procured from that ship. At first, Aurush is against this. He's like, you know, I can't really go against my god. They did give me a second life. You know how it is. Stealing is bad. I can't do that. Then Kumi cleverly argues, how are you stealing from a thief? He robbed me. Aurush got to thinking like, damn, he do got a point. He actually does attempt to get this egg later on in the episode, but he's unable to. After running into Kirsch's right-hand robot, now named Isaac, leads him to have another conversation with Kumi saying, look, I can't do my people like this. On top of that, he also had another conversation with Kirsch earlier on in the episode after this first conversation with Kumi. It seemed like Kirsch is testing him, talking about something. If I was an evildoer and I did bad things, would you report me? It's almost like he knows he's a bad person. It gets serious though, because now Kumi is sitting with Aurush's mother. After Aurush gives him his full name earlier on in the episode, Kumi did some digging into bro's family. So much so that in the same episode, he's able to be sitting next to his mother. It was at this point where I knew that brother will do whatever it takes to fulfill his mission. It's Weylan Yutani or nothing for him. This leads us to the end of the episode where Aurush sees Wendy and her brother chilling with the rest of the androids. And Aurush is tight because why is she allowed to have brothers, but his brothers can't come visit him? Which starts putting thoughts in the other androids' heads like, maybe we can ask them if we can have our siblings come over for like a sibling day or something. After getting instructions from Kumi to bring somebody over to them alien egg of human descent, have whatever the hell is in them eggs stay on the person's face for like 2 days, he knows who his next target is gonna be. And I just feel bad for the brother. Like, he's already gone through so much already. Is it no way BD can be the person to take the bait for this? I'm sure he'd be more than willing to put his life on the line for this research. There's a conversation earlier on in the episode between the married scientist where dude's trying to tell his wife, listen, BD is tripping. He's lost the plot entirely. If we stay on this island and continue doing the work that we're doing on these androids, either we're gonna create some crazy AI or we're gonna be known for murdering 6 kids. There's no payoff in that situation. But Shorty is literally just seen it as research, as BD taking risks. Are you not hearing what's coming out of your husband's mouth? Nah, you must need a demonstration. All right, we're gonna give you one right now. Them showrunners had Shorty get with the android that thinks she's pregnant. The one that had the little face leech on her face in like episode 2. And that android got to crashing out on her. She tried to show Shorty some schematics. She was not going for none of that. On her face one too many times to the point where now she's hearing what her husband is trying to say. One thing I can say I love about this episode is the fact that the kids are waking up. They're realizing that all this BS they're getting fed by Prodigy is a load of BS. And the last thing they want right now is some type of robot uprising on this private island. You already know Kumi pulling up. I'm sure he would not be against teaming up with his own kind. On top of that, you gotta worry about the aliens that are slowly but surely being birthed on this island too. If I'm that married couple, I'm getting a first-class flight up off that island. There's absolutely no reason for me to stay after the events that took place in this episode. Ultimately, I do feel like going into episode 5, we're gonna get a lot more action. These aliens are gonna go to work. We're gonna start seeing betrayal between the androids, and all hell is about to break loose on Alien Earth. I gave this episode a cool 6.5, 7 out of 10. It was alright. I'll leave your thoughts in the comments. What did y'all think about Alien Earth episode 4? Are you liking the series so far? And what do you think we got to look forward to in this upcoming episode? Until next time, I'll be your host, Jay, so I hope you've been entertained. And we go talk soon. Peace out.